Hello everyone and welcome to another Bitcoin crypto analysis video. Today we will talk about this possibility that in the future, what will happen with blockchain in the next economic crisis. So I wrote an article on Medium or on HackerNoon, so I'll link that in the description if you want to read about it. So here's the title. Will the next economic crisis be the end of cryptocurrencies and blockchain or their consolidation? Again, subscribe to my channel, leave a like, comment below if you agree with this, but let's get into what I'm trying to say. So here I did a quick Google Trends search. If you don't know what Google Trend is, just go on Google, type Google Trends. Pretty much what it says, if you type a word or a sentence, it will show you the traffic of people searching for that term, word, phrase, whatever. So here they have a scale of between 0 and 100. It doesn't mean that there were 25 people searching for blockchain in 2017. It just means that from between this time period, and you can choose how long you want to look at this information for, you can choose the period you want to look at. So here I chose between June 2017 and right now, pretty much. Comparatively, the height of searches was in the end of 2017. And as you maybe know, maybe do not know, let's go to the Bitcoin graph. Let's look at when was this big price increase. Here we go. December 2017. So you can see that these two graphs are a little bit consistent. So as people were searching more about Bitcoin, so did increase the price of Bitcoin. And then once the price started coming down, you see that the interest in Bitcoin has come down a lot. Or this is actually blockchain, and here is the graph for Bitcoin. So sorry, but this is the interest in blockchain technology, and this is the graph for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, almost the same graph. Again, from June 2017 until now. And then you can see that there's a small increase now. So a lot of people are saying, is this maybe the beginning of this trend here again? Maybe, or maybe it's just a little fluke. Maybe it could be a little increase like this and then it decreases. We'll have to wait and see. But the point is, the next economic crisis is coming. That's a definite. We know there's going to be an economic crisis. The question is when. Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be next year? In 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 50 years, 100 years? We don't know. We know it will come eventually. Something will happen, but there will be an economic crisis. Unfortunately, we don't live in a community, in a global market that we can go long periods of time without an economic crisis. So I think the average is below 10 years. So if we go above 10 years without an economic crisis, that's overdue. And our last economic crisis was in 2008. We're in 2018. So one could say that we might be overdue for an economic crisis. So the question is, if we know it is coming, how can we know, then the question arises, will Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, blockchain, resist this economic crisis, or will it just crumble with it and not be able to come back up? So what I'm saying here, that history repeats itself, is that there is a pattern, a small pattern of economic cycles. And the pattern that we're seeing right now is that right after there's a recession and economic crisis, governments are a lot more strict with financial regulations. And that's what happened after the 2007 and 2008 crash. There was the Dodd-Frank Act in the United States and other regulations that prevented banks from taking too much risk with people's money and thus not being able to lose all that money. But what happened not too long ago, Trump, if I'm not, let me see, I think here, So Trump signed a rollback of bank regulations which were put in place after 2007, 2008. So what is it saying is that it's allowing banks to take a little bit more risk once again. And this always, times and times again, it shows that once regulations start to be more relaxed towards financial institutions, then eventually there will be an economic crisis, because then financial institutions will try to take advantage, just like the last economic crisis. They will overdo everything, try to make as much money as possible now that regulations are more relaxed, and then something bad will happen. So this, maybe Donald Trump signing this rollback of regulations, it's the beginning of a much bigger thing that might turn out to be the next economic crisis. I'm not saying the economic crisis is because of the rollback. It could be in another sector of the economy, but it always comes down to the financial institutions. Do they have the money to pay people, or do they have people's money ready for them? So one argument is that a lot of people think that the next crisis will be the cryptocurrency bubble, or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people think it is a bubble. Now the prices have come down, not so much, but when it was at 20,000, everyone was saying the bubble is about to burst. A lot of people say that now it has burst, or it still hasn't burst, it might come down even more. The fact is, if it is a cryptocurrency bubble, let's say by the end of 2018, the price of Bitcoin is $150,000, totally unexpected. Like the $20,000 were in the end of last year. So if that's the case, and then it just crashes because of that, and it brings down banks with it, I personally believe that it could, in this case, it could be the case where cryptocurrency might not be able to just reconstruct itself, because just think about it for 1 second. If cryptocurrencies are just very volatile and go up a lot, and then the next time they come down, they bring down the whole market, the whole financial system, no one will ever want to invest in it again, afraid that this might happen. There will be definitely a lot of regulations with blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and that might just defeat the purpose of blockchain. So the next big bubble could do this to the financial market, or it could potentially end 90% of the coins out there right now and leave just the solid projects, solid investments, solid products. Another thing is that I discussed in the article is that what if it's not a cryptocurrency bubble? What if it's a financial market bubble? Something similar to 2008, 2007, where there's a bubble in some sector of the financial market that we don't know about right now, and that comes down. Imagine everyone losing their money to banks and everything else. What will be the reaction of people towards having cryptocurrencies? Will everyone sell cryptocurrencies to try to get some money back and not have as great of a loss because banks cannot even pay you? Or will everyone invest more in cryptocurrency, because then you don't have banks, you don't have centralized institutions for most cases that take care of your money, and then it's more secure? I could see it going both ways. I could see people taking their money out and trying to just get a little bit of money and worrying about the short term, just the next few months, so they have a little bit of money. But I can also see a lot of people trying to invest more in cryptocurrencies because it's not centralized. Then once financial markets come down, they will see, okay, so cryptocurrencies are the next thing, because we cannot trust our money to banks anymore. If every few years they keep doing this and I lose my money, why should I put my money with them? I might as well just put it in a box in my house or something. So this is a little bit a small take on what might happen in the next economic crisis. You're welcome to disagree with me, leave a comment about it. I would really like to know what you guys think about this. If you're interested about it, I would also recommend, as I say here, to look at Gantt cycles. It's a terminology from technical analysis. If you don't know what technical analysis is, it's just when you have the graph of a stock or a cryptocurrency and you analyze its price levels and you try to make predictions as to where the price might go based on past events. It can turn out to be very helpful. A lot of people don't believe in it. I like it a lot. I like reading books about it. But look at Gantt cycles. This guy from the late 1800s, he invented this method, and he said that the markets are cyclical. So they have cycles, and the next big cycle. So every time these cycles end, there is an economic crisis, and the next big cycle to end will end between 2019 and 2022. Then again, it doesn't say where it will happen. It just says that it will. According to this analysis, it says that between this period there will be an economic crisis. It's not saying that from 2019 to 2022 markets will be going down. It's just saying that somewhere in this period it could be January 1st, 2019. There could be a drop in the market, and then we're for 1-2 years again in a recession. Or it could be that in the end of 2022 it starts. It's just saying that sometime around this period this could happen. And it's very interesting how he talks about even moon cycles and all that. That's why a lot of people don't believe. They think it's bullshit. I just think it's interesting, and I don't think it hurts to read a little bit about it. So let me know in the comments below again if you like this video, if you agree with me, if you think the next economic crisis will be the end of cryptocurrencies and blockchain, or if it will consolidate it, or if you think something else. Leave a like in the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.